And I might as well mention and talk about this whole back and forth that's been taking place between some African Americans, some of us, and the Jamaicans. And it's been picking up steam. Plenty of people that made videos on it already, but I think I need to speak on it because it's certain things that need to be pointed out. And okay, let's break it down. All right. Well, if you don't know, according to this report, as I mentioned, there's been a lot of social media videos of African Americans while they vacationing in Jamaica, posting videos saying they upset about the treatment and the service while they out there, and they paid their money for the most part. And it was a hurricane. Keep in mind, it's been a hurricane in Jamaica for a few weeks now, a very bad one, been tearing stuff up, so. And the Jamaicans, they response or they defense, they saying like, hey man, we sorry, but as we don't know if you noticed while you out here, it's a big ass hurricane going on. So we can't really accommodate the way we normally could due to that. Now, and I don't really know the exact details of why a lot of the African American parties or groups were upset. I'm sure it was more to it, but for the most part, it was just pretty not satisfied with the service. And the Jamaicans is like, man, under the circumstance, man, we sorry, but man, y'all gotta, give us a break. You know what I mean? Considering it's a big ass hurricane. Now, perhaps, the people again probably, a refund, or not a full refund, but a certain reimbursement probably would have been nice. On regarding certain services you may have paid for and you didn't receive, but I don't know, maybe that probably of course that's gonna vary by from your vacation package to how you paid for it. Did you pay by debit or did you use credit card? You know what I'm saying? That make a big difference. But really though, man, what I gotta say about that is, honestly, you see, man, this is just really, this ain't the time for that, man. This is technically still black on black, tribe on tribal. In other words, this is the type of stuff that just further drive a wedge in between us, man. And right now ain't the time. You see what's going on in the world. A lot of squeezing or turning up the dial on oppression of everybody, honestly. Now, although I know us as a group, we need to stand on our square regarding FBA or what have you, but at the same time, we definitely can't isolate ourselves. Now, we can distinguish ourselves, but we don't want to isolate ourselves from other groups, especially other tribes. You understand? Now, you can have an argument when it comes to other groups or whatever, and even then, you know what I mean? But regardless, I'm talking about other people that look like us, other people, other African tribes, as I'll say. And I get it. We got coons, sellouts, and no good people all across the board. So we can't really let one or two of them speak for all of them, and vice versa. But that's the problem. That's another thing I want to get into when it comes to us on our behalf. Our ignorance in that niggerdom we may take abroad because we already being stereotyped. And another thing about that is that not only we being stereotyped, but we are American without privilege. So we may go abroad. Yeah, we're American. We got a passport and everything, but you're not white, and you won't get treated like you're white, and you'll see the difference between a second class American. And to me, I feel antics like that gonna make it harder for a lot of us when we do go out there in different ways. Maybe they gonna add more fees, steal luggage, and that stuff they already doing, targeting us. But even on a more serious note, harm one of us. And again, we American without privilege, and you know how, depending on unless you somebody famous or just with money, or just for the average citizen, it kind of reminds me of that Dave Chappelle stand-up when he talk about how the Taliban, the difference between them kidnapping a white person and them kidnapping a black person. And you know, we got two black, hello, that's how they gonna be, because we American without privilege. So certain places we can't come with that American attitude, quote unquote, that N-word stuff, that negative. You know what I'm saying? But not even that, you know, because ain't nobody been through what we've been through, but regardless, man. And I be feeling like a lot of times we be the only ones on the battlefield thinking it's a playground. So you gotta really understand the type of world you live in and what's going on and where you stand, not only as an individual but as a group, as a people, because that's how you're being looked at. And another thing that stands out while I'm talking to y'all regarding this, because again, to me, it's like black on black crime. And I know it ain't that serious, but at the same time, it can, and it's just a bad look for us, in my opinion. And no, I don't know all the details, and I'm pretty sure them Jamaicans probably said some out-of-pocket stuff about us to some that probably if I hear, I'm going to say something. But at the same time, from a real broad microscope looking in, this ain't cool, you know, on both ends, you know. And I just wish if in fact, from what I'm hearing is just what it was, I wish we would have had a little bit more consideration, even though I know you mad you done broke bread. But you had to know that damn hurricane was coming. They was letting it be known. Now, perhaps you probably booked your flight way in advance, but hey, man, I don't know. And then again, to see that all boils to how you went about making that trip. It's whatever, man. But point is, again, all that bickering, in-house fighting reminds me of a story my partner Big Dog told us a while back, man. Shout out Big Dog. He was telling a story, I guess, back in the day when him and his family, his people, his uncles and aunties, they all went fishing. And I guess they caught a nice sized big ass fish. I don't know if it was a shark or whatever. And I guess out of nowhere, because it was pitch black, you know, they in the cuts, you know, you may got a lantern or two, you know, some raccoons, you know, come out the cuts. And usually, you know, raccoons be deep. You know, when you see one, there's usually a lot more of them close by, even if you don't see them. So, you know, they come out the cuts, and I guess one of the raccoons got some of the fish they caught or whatever. And as another one approaches, I guess that same fish, I guess the biggest one, the other raccoon get on him. So they fighting. And now, from according to him, he like they fighting hella hard to where they fight up and down the tree, like literally up the tree and down the tree. You know, they fighting to the point to where while they fighting each other, they so busy fighting each other. I guess that one raccoon, he's so mad that the other one would even attempt to grab what he thought is his. He owned his ass. So he basically, you know, the loot right there, you know, the money right there. And he like, man, come on, y'all. And they pick the fish up and they take off. So that story just, you know, stick out to me. That just remind me of that, man. Like, just all this in-house bickering, man, and you don't got your eyes on the real prize, so to speak, you know. And that is funny to me. I know them raccoons was like, motherfuck, what the hell? Like, them goddamn people, I know they was hella mad, especially the one that won, did all that fighting. And then it was funny because he even called, you know, one of his peoples to even verify. He said they literally fought up and down the tree. But the point is, they was doing all that fighting. They forgot about the damn food. Food right there to where humans was able to get in and go.